Good evening everyone, welcome to iQuanta. So day 9 of quantitative aptitude formula revision session, right? And till now we have done session on number system, arithmetic and algebra. Today we are going to have another session on algebra with the two must revise topic, which is binomial expression and other is trigonometry. Now every year if you check the previous year questions of IPMAT Indore, then you will see that every year at least one question from these two topics are asked. At least one question from these two topics are asked, and if you practice well in these topics, those two questions are sure shot. Okay, sure shot. It could be in short answer section or it could be in MCQ section. Okay, so today we are going to revise the formulae based on these two topics, binomial theorem and trigonometry, as well as we are going to practice few questions so that you can understand these topics and the uses of the concept properly, and then attempt these questions during mocks or exam. All right, so let's start with this. Binomial expression. First of all, let's try to understand binomial expression. What is binomial expression? An algebraic expression consisting of two terms. Bi means two. Okay, two terms with positive or negative sign between them is called a binomial expression. Examples are given like 1 plus x. This is a binomial expression. 3 minus 2x, another binomial expression. X plus x cube, x square plus y. 1 by 2x minus 3y by 5, 7 to the power 5 minus 4 to the power x minus 4x. All of these are examples of binomial expression. Okay, two terms, an expression which has exactly two terms. All right, now before we move forward to binomial expression, one thing that we need to learn is the concept of NCR. What is NCR? NCR is nothing but number of combination of R things chosen from n distinct things. Okay, so NCR is nothing but n factorial divided by n minus r factorial into r factorial. These will be used frequently here. That's why I am repeating these things here. For example, what is 5C0? 5C0 is nothing but 5 factorial divided by 0 factorial into 5 minus 0 factorial, which is again 5 factorial divided by 50 factorial. So we get 1. What is 4C3? 4 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 4 minus 3 factorial, which is ultimately 4. So if I take NC2, what will be NC2? This will be equal to n factorial divided by n minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial, which we can write as n into n minus 1 by 2. If I write down NC3, this will be equal to n factorial divided by n minus 3 factorial into 3 factorial, which will be equal to n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 divided by 3 factorial, which is 6. So this is how you can calculate the value of NCR. Okay. Now the next one is expanding a binomial expression. As you can see, x plus y to the power n can be written as nc0 into x to the power n plus into y to the power 0. Then second term will be nc1 into x to the power n minus 1 y to the power n, and so on. When second last term will be ncn minus 1 x to the power 1 into y to the power n minus 1 plus ncn into x to the power 0. So this is 0 into y to the power n. This is the expansion of x plus y to the power n. Now you can see how many terms are there. Starting with nc0, we are finishing with ncn. So from 0 to n, there are n plus 1 terms. How many terms are there? There are n plus 1 terms. Okay. Now, next what we can say, these values are known as coefficient. NC0, NC1, NC2, NCR, all of these, the constant part in any expression, in any term, is known as the coefficient of that particular term. Okay, here x and y do not have any constant associated with them. Okay, that's why straight away these are the coefficients. But if some constant are associated with these two values, then we will also count in the constant term. Okay, now the general form of x plus y to the power n is equal to summation of r to n, where r is equal to 0 to n, NCR x to the power n minus r into y to the power r. This is y to the power r. Okay, this is the general term. You can take n r is equal to 0, you get a term. You can take r is equal to 1, another term, r is equal to 2, then next term. Till what? You can take r is equal to n, then you get the last term. Okay. Now moving to the next part, which says some examples. Okay, some examples. Instead of x and y, we are taking some examples. X plus 3 to the power 5. Now if you expand this, there will be 6 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now if you take 2x minus 1 to the power 4, there will be 5 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can see here 2 is coefficient of x. Now if I want to find what will be the coefficient of this term, the coefficient of this term will be 4c0 into this 2 to the power 4. Minus 1 to the power 0 is 1, right? So basically 4c0 is nothing but 4 factorial divided by 0 factorial into 4 factorial, which is 1. So the coefficient of this term will be 16. What will be the coefficient of this term? 4c1 is 4 into 2 to the power 3 is 8 into minus 1, which is equal to minus 32. This will be the coefficient of the second term. Same, we can find the coefficient of third term, fourth term, fifth term, right? Then comes the next expression, which is 1 plus x to the power 6. Now again, we will have 7 terms when we expand this binomial expression. All right. So I hope this is clear. What is binomial expression? What do we get when we expand it? What will be the coefficient of a particular term? And how many terms will be there? All that. So if we move forward, next again, as you can see, this expansion is given. Now what is general term? General term is denoted by r plus 1th term. R plus 1th term is known as general term. What is t r plus 1? Means r plus 1 term is NCR, because starting from 0, we start from 0, NC0, NC1, this is first term, this is second term, this is third term, and so on. So TR plus 1, R plus 1th term will be equal to NCR, x to the power n minus r into y to the power r. This will be our, if we want to find the 5th term, we need to take r is equal to 4. If we want to find 10th term, we need to take r is equal to 9 and so on. Okay, so using this we can find any term which is given in the question. Now let's try solving few questions on this binomial expansion. Okay, so try this question and let me know if you get any answer here. The number of dissimilar terms in the expansion of 1 minus 3x plus 3x square minus x cube to the power 20. What will be the number of terms? You must be thinking that we talked about 2 terms and then there are 4 terms. So there is something interesting in this question. So try to focus here, try to find an answer. So as we discussed earlier, after we revise all the formulae, we are going to discuss few questions based on it, so that you can understand how to use those concepts here, है ना? This is the first question, finding the number of terms. What do we know? That if we have x plus y to the power n, then there will be n plus 1 terms, right? There will be n plus 1 terms. So what will be the number of terms in the expansion of the given expression? Okay, so let's discuss this. As I said, there is a trick to this question, that we need to convert this given expression into binomial, means into two terms. How is that possible? See, if I write 1 minus x whole cube, this is equal to 1 cube, which is 1, minus 3 into 1 square into x. So this will become 3x plus 3x square minus x cube. So this expression now can be written as 1 minus x whole cube to the power 20, which we can say this will be equal to 1 minus x to the power 60. If this is 1 minus x to the power 60, how many terms will be there? 61 terms. 60 plus 1, 61 terms. And that's our answer. है ना? Such a beautiful question, right? Now, let's go to the next question. But before that, if you have any doubts here, then let me know. Okay, if no doubts, then let's go to the next question. Hi Akshita. We are discussing binomial expression today, and then we are going to discuss trigonometry. डर लग रहा है, उसी डर को तो दूर करने के लिए हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं ना. वी आर हैविंग दीज सेशंस फॉर दैट ओनली, है ना. 5x minus 9 to the power 4. If we expand this, what do we get? 5x minus 9 to the power 4. This will be equal to 4c0 5x to the power 4 into 9 to the power 0. Then it will be 4c1 into 5x to the power 3 9 to the power 1. This will be minus 9 to the power 1. Minus 9 to the power 1 plus this will be 4c2 into 5x whole square, and this will be minus 9 whole square. Then the next term will be 4c1 into 5x to the power, it will be 1, this will be 4c3, right? 4c3 5x to the power 1 minus 9 to the power 3. Then we will have plus 4c4 into 5x to the power 0 into minus 9 to the power 4, right? Now if we check the each term independently, what will be the constant part? So 4C0 is nothing but 1 into 5 to the power 4 into x to the power 4 plus this will be equal to, now in this case this will be minus 9, 4C1 is 4, so 4 into 5 cube into minus 9 into x cube plus this will be equal to 4C2 is 6, 6 into 5 square into 9 square is 81 into x square. Then the fourth term will be equal to 4C3, which is again 4 into 5 into minus 729 into x to the power 1. Then we get this term, which will be 4C4 is 1, 5 to the power 0 is 0. So 1 into minus 9 to the power 4. So 9 to the power 4, which is 6561. This will be the last term. Now we need to select the constant part from each of them and then we solve it, right? This could be a very tedious work, calculating this. But think about this, if I want to find the constant part in the first term, if I put x is equal to 1, I get the constant part. Again, if I put x is equal to 1, I get the constant part. Similarly, in each case, if I put x is equal to 1, I get the constant part or the coefficient of each term. So why don't we do it here as well? What we can say, put x is equal to 1 and then we get sum of all the coefficients. Sum of all the coefficients will be equal to 5 into 1 minus 9 to the power 4, which will be equal to minus 4 to the power 4, which is equal to 256. That's it. That's our answer, 256. So whenever you need to find the sum of all the coefficients in any binomial expansion, just put x is equal to 1 or the variable is equal to 1, you will get your answer. For example, if I need to find sum of all the coefficients in 3 by x minus 4y square to the power, let's say 10, what will be the sum of coefficients of all the terms of expansion of this binomial expression? So put x is equal to y is equal to 1. Put x is equal to y is equal to 1. What do you get? 3 minus 4 to the power 10, which is equal to 1. So sum of all the coefficients of all the 11 terms of this binomial expansion will be equal to 1. This is an amazing way of finding sum of all the coefficients in any binomial expansion. You cannot miss it. Does not matter there are 2 terms or 3 terms or 4 terms. You can just put the variable is equal to 1. You will find the sum of all the coefficients. All right. Tell me if this is clear. And if not, then let me know your doubts. बताओ है कोई क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे? Finding the sum of coefficients for all the terms. ठीक है? No doubts? Okay then. Let's go to the next part. Next question, it says find the coefficient of the 7th term of 4x square by 5 minus 5 upon 2x to the power 9. We need to find the sum of the coefficients of all the term. Find the sum of coefficient. Find the coefficient of the 7th term, right? So to help you guys, I can go back to this one, that r plus 1th term. What is r plus 1th term? This is NCR into x to the power n minus r into y to the power r. You can use that to solve this question. You must be solving these type of questions if you want to crack the binomial theorem questions in exam, है ना? So what do we want? We want T7, the 7th term. T7 will be equal to 9C6 into 4x square by 5 to the power 9 minus 6, which is equal to 3, into minus 5 by 2x to the power 6, right? Because we already know that T r plus 1, r plus 1th term is equal to NCR into x to the power n minus r into y to the power r in x plus y to the power n. This will be TR plus 1th term. So if you want to find the 7th term, you need to take 6 here. 4x square by 5 to the power 9 minus 6, which is 3, minus 5 by 2x to the power 6. So this will be equal to, what is 9C6? So 9 into 7 into, or let me write it in the way you can understand. This will be 9 factorial divided by 9 minus 6, 3 factorial into 6 factorial into this 4 by 5 I can take outside. So 4 by 5 to the power 3. And then this minus 5 by 2 to the power 6 will also become positive. So minus 5 by 2 to the power 6 into this will become x to the power 6 into 1 by x to the power 6. So this will be eventually cancelled out, right? Even if it's not cancelled out, we need to find the coefficient. So we need to calculate this one. This will be equal to 9 into 8 into 7 divided by 3 factorial is 6 into 5 to the power 3, 5 to the power 6. What do we get? We get 5 to the power 3 into 4 to the power 3 and 2 to the power 6 will be cancelled out, right? So we get 1. So this value will be equal to 6 into this 12, 72, 12 times. So this will be equal to 84 into 125. 125 into 4 is 500, carried forward 50, 125, 1050. है ना? So that is our answer, 10,500. Okay, now remember, even if these x won't be cancelled out, we get this answer, same as this answer, है ना? Hello Rashmi, how is your preparation going on? So it could be, the question could be as well like this, that what will be the constant part, then it will be, what will be the constant term? So 7th term will be constant, है ना? What will be the constant term? So 7th term, what will be the value? 10,500. All right, batao, is that clear now? Rashmi, Akshata, is the solution clear to you guys? Okay, clear? Then comes the next question, which says find the coefficient of x to the power 32 in x to the power 4 minus 1 by x cube to the power 15. What will be the coefficient? of x to the power 32. So if we expand this, the power is 15. We are getting 16 terms, right? Out of those, one of the term will have power of x as 32. How do we find that term? If we find that term, then we will be able to find the coefficient of that term. Tell me, what will be that coefficient? So find the coefficient of what will be the general term. Let's find out the general term. The general term is basically TR plus 1. TR plus 1 means NCR into, in this case, it will be x to the power 4 to the power n minus r into minus 1 by x cube to the power r, right? We know the value of n, which is 15. So we can say 15 CR into x to the power 4 to the power 15 minus r into minus 1 by x cube to the power r. Can I say this will be equal to 15 CR into, now this will be our coefficient because there is no constant term associated to x to the power 4 or x to the power 3. It will be negative or positive, we will see about that. This can be written as x to the power 60 minus 4r, right? Why? Because we know that a to the power b to the power c is equal to a to the power b into c. Then this will be equal to x to the power minus 3r, right? Minus x to the power minus 3r. Now in this case, what do we use? That 1 by x to the power a is equal to x to the power minus a. Now what can we say? The total coefficient of x, what will be the coefficient of x here? Sorry, not power of x will be 60 minus 4r plus or minus 3r, or let's say minus 3r minus 3r will be equal to 32, or we can say 7r is equal to 28, or we can say r is equal to 4. If r is equal to 4, that means we are looking for the fifth term and we can find the coefficient, right? What we can say the coefficient? So coefficient of fifth term will be equal to 15C4, 15C4. Now we don't need to calculate it as there are no options here, okay? This will be a very big value to calculate, so let's keep it here. But I hope that this concept is clear, this solution is clear, how to find the coefficient of any particular term. We get x to the power 32 when we put r is equal to 4, if you put r is equal to 4, then you get the value, है ना? ठीक है, बताओ कोई डाउट है इसमें? If we put r is equal to 4, then this will be 44 and this will be minus 12, 32, right? Now let's move on and let's try to find the independent term. Now in this case, if I take r is equal to 4, then this will be, wait a second, let me check if this is negative. If I put r is equal to 4, then this will be minus 1 by x cube to the power 4. No, it will become positive. So yes, the coefficient will also be positive. Now in this case it says find the term independent of x. Independent of x means we need to find the term where power of x is equal to 0. Power of x is equal to 0. Again, we are going to find the r plus 1th term, which will be equal to 9cr into 3 by 2 x square to the power 9 minus r into minus 1 by 3x to the power r. So what will be the power of x? If we are talking about power of x only, from here we get x to the power 18 minus 2r, and here we get x to the power minus r. This will be equal to x to the power 18 minus 3r. So x to the power should be 0, independent of x. Can I say that 18 minus 3r should be equal to 0, or r should be equal to 6? If r should be equal to 6, what will be the coefficient? Put r is equal to 6, means the T7. We are looking for the 7th term. If you put 7th term, means r is equal to 6. If I put r is equal to 6, this will be 3, this will be 6, yes. So the term will be, T7 will be equal to 9c6 into 3 by 2 x square to the power 9 minus 6, which is equal to 3, into minus 1 by 3x to the power 6. What will be the coefficient? Coefficient of this term will be 9c6 into 3 by 2 to the power 3, and 1 by 3, minus 1 by 3 to the power 6 will become plus 1 by 3 to the power 6 as well. Now we can solve this. Now we can solve this and get our answer. So this will be 9 into 8 into 7 divided by 6 into, this is 9c6, which is, again you can remember this value, this is as 84. This will be equal to 3 cube, 1 by 3 cube cancelled out. So this will become 1 by 2 cube, 6 cube, means 1 by 216, right? 1 upon 216. 3 cube cancelled out, 2 cube, 3 cube, right? So this will be equal to 6, this is 12 times, 12 into 7, 12 into this, if we cancelled out, 1 times 8 times. So our answer is 7 by 18. This will be the coefficient. Okay, this will be the, this will be the term which is independent of x, because x will be cancelled out. So 7 by 18. Which term? It says find the term independent of x. So our answer will be, answer is 7th term. Answer is 7th term. What will be the value? 7 by 18. Okay. So any of these could be asked in the question. Find the term which is independent of x. Which term? 7th term. What is the value? 7 by 18. Okay. Okay, then let's come to trigonometry. We just discussed formulae on binomial theorem, and we discussed 5-6 examples on this. I'm sure those will be very helpful to you guys, and you can solve any questions on binomial theorem that will be asked in mocks or exams. All right. Now, if we talk about trigonometry, what do we know? So let's say this is a triangle ABC, where angle B is 90 degree. Okay, we say BC as base B, base which is equal to B, AB as perpendicular P, and AC as hypotenuse H. Then what do we know about the trigonometrical function? Like sine, if this angle, let's say, is theta, then we say sine theta is equal to P upon B. Okay, and not P upon B, perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Cos theta will be equal to base upon hypotenuse, means b by h. And what will be tan theta? So tan theta will be equal to perpendicular upon base. And similarly, if we try to find what will be cosec theta, it will be just reciprocal of sin theta, which is equal to h upon p. What will be sec theta? It will be reciprocal of cos theta, which will be h upon b. And then if you try to find cot theta, this will be b upon p. This is how we find the values of trigonometric functions. How do you find? If a triangle is given, you can find sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, sec theta, cot theta. All of these values depends on theta, the angle. Or if side lengths are given, you can find the value as well. Now, if we talk about the formulae, what are the important formulae that we should know on trigonometric function? But before that, try to understand this. We have 4 quadrants. I have distributed this x-axis and y-axis plane into 4 quadrants. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. Now, if the angle belongs to first quadrant, means 0 degree to 90 degree, all the trigonometric function will be positive. Means sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, sec theta, cot theta, all of these will be positive if theta is between 0 to 90 degree. But if theta is between 90 degree to 180 degree, then sin theta and cosec theta will be positive, but the rest of them will be negative. For example, without doing anything, without finding the value, cos 115 degree will be less than 0. Sin 130 degree will be positive. Tan 100 degrees will be negative, like this. Okay. Then in the third quadrant, tan theta and cot theta will be positive, but rest of them will be negative. Like we can say tan 200 degrees will be positive, cot 230 degree will be positive, but sin 200 degrees will be negative, cos 200 degrees will be negative. And in the fourth quadrant, cos theta and sec theta will be positive. If theta is between 270 degree to 360 degree, we say that cos theta and sec theta will be positive, rest of them will be negative. Rest of them means sin theta, cosec theta, tan theta, cot theta, all of these. Okay. Then comes few important values of these trigonometric function. So what do we denote? Pi radian is equal to 180 degrees. Okay. So this is 0. Pi by 6, this is basically nothing but 30 degrees. Pi by 4, 45 degrees. Pi by 3, 60 degrees. Pi by 2, 90 degrees. Pi 180 degrees. 3 pi by 2, 270 degrees and 360 degrees. Although the values that you should remember is these 5. Sin theta, sin 0 degree is 0, sin 30 degree is 1 by 2. Then sin 45 degree will be 1 by root 2, which is same for cos 45 degree. Then sin 60 degree will be root 3 by 2 and sin 90 degree will be 1. Now you can go reverse for cos. Cos 0 degree will be 1, cos pi by 6 will be root 3 by 2, cos pi by 4 will be 1 by root 2, cos 60 degree will be 1 by 2, cos 90 degree will be 0. Now tan theta you can use sin theta by cos theta and find the corresponding value. Now to remember sin theta and cos theta in a easy manner, what you can do is you can write 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. Write down 1, 1, 1, 1. And then you can write to remember the values easily. To remember the values easily, what you can do is here. So write down 1, 2, 3 and 4 and then divide it by all of these values by 4. 4, 4, 4, 4. this gives you sine theta if you take square root of this, like this. You can match it from here. This will be 0 by 4, so this is 0. In case of cos theta, you take it from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and then divide it by 4. All of these value divide by 4 and take the square root. So if you having difficulty remembering these values, you can use these concept, this shortcut to remember the values. Write down 0 to 90, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, divide all the values by 4, take the square root. In case of cos theta, write down 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, divide all the values by 4, take the square root. You get the values. Very interesting way to remember the values of sin theta and cos theta from 0 degree to 90 degree. Okay. Okay. Then comes the formulae. As I said, you can see. Now these are the important ones. Sin 90 degree minus theta is cos theta. Cos 90 degree minus 90 degree minus theta is sin theta. Tan 90 degree minus theta is cot theta, and vice versa. Then sec and the relation between cosec and sec theta. After that, these are basically when we go to second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. Okay. Even if you don't remember these, I don't think that you will be having much problem, but you need to understand the conversion well, that in which quadrant which trigonometric function is positive, which trigonometric function is negative. Then it will be very easier to understand. Okay. Now, like for one example, sin 180 degree minus theta will be sin theta, because this angle is in second quadrant. If theta is between 0 to 90, this angle is in second quadrant, and in second quadrant sin theta is positive, right? Then some more important formulae, which are, this is the most important one, sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Sec square theta minus tan square theta is also 1. Cosec square theta minus cot square theta is also 1. Then comes sin minus theta is minus sin theta. Minus theta is also denoted in fourth quadrant. So in fourth quadrant sin theta is negative, that's why it's negative. But in fourth quadrant cos theta is positive, that's why cos minus theta is cos theta. But tan minus theta will again be minus tan theta. Now the representation, sin theta square is represented as sin square theta. Alright. Now what is compound angle? An angle formed by the sum or the difference of two or more angles is known as compound angles. Like if you need to find what is sin 45 degree, then you know the value exact, 1 by root 2. If you need to find sin 30 degree, you know the value, what is sin 30 degree, 1 by 2. But what if you need to find sin 75 degree? So sin 75 degree can be written as sin 30 degree plus 45 degrees, and there we use the compound angle formula, which are this one. Sin A plus B is sin A into cos B plus cos A into sin B. Sin A minus B is equal to sin A into cos B minus cos A into sin B. Cos A plus B is equal to cos A into cos B minus sin A into sin B. Then cos A minus B is cos A into cos B plus sin A into sin B. Now tan A plus B, these will be used frequently, so remember this well. Tan A plus B is tan A plus tan B divided by 1 minus tan A into tan B. Then tan A minus B. So you can replace the plus by minus, minus by plus. Okay. Alright. Anshul, this session will be available as soon as we finish this session. Okay. You can watch it later. Then comes cot A plus B, cot A minus B. Then these three are not that much popular, but eventually sometimes those will be used. So it's better if you see them once and use them while practicing the questions. Okay. But these ones are very important. Then Then comes double angle formula, है ना, sin 2 theta. Sin 2 theta can be written as sin theta plus theta, है ना, and from there you can use this one, sin A and B, both of them you can put theta. Then sin 2 theta is equal to, you get sin theta into cos theta into 2, which can be also written as 2 tan theta upon 1 plus tan square theta in terms of tan theta. What is cos 2 theta? Again, using the compound formula from previous slide, it's cos square theta minus sin square theta, which is 2 cos square theta minus 1. Or instead of cos square theta, you can replace it by 1 minus sin square theta, है ना. Then you get another result in terms of sin square theta. ठीक है. Daydreamer, sir, permutation, combination and probability, please. Okay, sure. See, we are trying to cover every aspect of your syllabus. Okay, so we are done with number system, we are done with arithmetic, we are completing algebra right now. Okay, and then tomorrow onwards we are going to continue with geometry. Okay, then some parts of algebra are left, which we will do after once we are done with geometry. Okay, then we will come to modern maths. So it will be done before exam, don't worry about it, है ना. We are going to have a discussion on PNC and probability. So using this concept, you can find cos theta, tan 2 theta, cos 2 theta. This is only when cos 2 theta is given and you need to find cos theta. You can use this, or you can find sin theta if cos 2 theta is given using this formula, है ना, this one. Cos 2 theta is 2 cos square theta minus 1. From there we get cos theta is equal to square root of 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2. Now half angle formula, again this is not very important. If you know this one, you can replace theta by 2 and you can get this formula. Alright. So it's important that you revise these formula once. You are finding them here at once, so it's important that you note them down, okay, and have some practice. Try to solve 30-40 questions on each of these topics. You will be good to go. Now let's try few questions on trigonometry. This is first question. This is a question from our mocks, you know, straight away. So try this one. Actually, this is one of the previous year questions and it's a really good question. So how do we solve this question? If cos alpha plus cos beta is equal to 1, then the maximum value of sin alpha minus sin beta is. So देखो, what we can do is we know that cos alpha plus cos beta is equal to 1, and let sin alpha minus sin beta is equal to k. So we need to find the maximum value of k, right? Now if I take squares of these expression and add. If we take squares and if we add them, what do we get? We get cos square alpha plus cos square beta minus 2 cos alpha into cos beta, and this will become sin square alpha plus sin square beta plus 2 sin alpha into sin beta. This will be equal to 1 square plus x plus k square, right? So from there, can I say cos square alpha sin square alpha will become 1, cos square alpha sin square alpha. Okay, this should be plus. This will be 1. Cos square beta sin square beta will also become 1. And then I can take common. What do I take common? 2 into. This will become sin alpha into sin beta minus cos alpha into cos beta. This will be equal to 1 plus k square. Now, have we seen this expression before? Yes. Where have we seen this expression before? Check this. Cos a plus b is cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. So can I say this is nothing but minus of cos alpha minus beta? So 2 times cos alpha minus beta will be equal to, this is 2, it will go this side, this will become k square minus 1. Or we can say k square will be equal to 1 plus, now this will become cos alpha plus beta, right? Cos alpha plus beta, sorry, cos alpha plus beta. So this will become 1 plus 2, or we can say k will be equal to, k square will be equal to 3, or k will be equal to plus minus root 3. Now if we are talking about maximum value of sin alpha minus sin beta, so either it will be root 3 or minus root 3. Which one is maximum? Root 3. So we can say maximum is equal to root 3. ठीक है? All right. है ना? Just 1 second. This should be all good, all good. बताओ, if you have any doubts here, then let me know. इस 1 को बेसिकली उधर ले जाने की जरूरत नहीं थी, बट ठीक है. Okay, then comes the next question, which says 10x minus cot x is equal to 1 by y. Find the value of y. As per the given options, we need to find the value of y. How do you solve this? ओके हियर अगर यहाँ पे अगर किसी को डाउट है समझने में, लेट मी टेल यू, this is 2 sin alpha into sin beta minus cos alpha into cos beta. Now this becomes cos alpha minus cos alpha plus beta. This is minus of cos alpha plus beta. This one I have taken this side is not needed. I can bring it this side, I can keep it this side, and I can write it as 1 minus 2 cos alpha plus beta, right? But then we can say that the this value will be cos alpha plus beta will vary from -1 to 1, right? In that case, the maximum of k square will be 1 plus 2. That's how. Now in this question it says tan x minus cot x is 1 by y. So what we can say? We can write 1 upon y is equal to tan x minus 1 by tan x, है ना? Or we can say 1 by y will be equal to tan square x minus 1 divided by tan x. From there we can say y will be equal to tan x divided by 1 minus tan square x, or we can say 2y will be equal to 2 tan x divided by 1 minus tan square x. Now this is nothing but, as we discussed today, this is nothing but tan 2x, है ना? This is tan 2x, or we can say y is equal to minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 tan 2x, है ना? एक सेकेंड, कुछ दिक्कत तो नहीं हुई है, लेट मी चेक. अच्छा यहाँ पे मैंने अपोजिट कर दिया, यस, माइनस साइन यहाँ पे आएगा, माइनस साइन, सो दिस विल बी minus 1 by 2 tan 2x, विच इज ऑप्शन डी. ठीक है. So these type of questions you will be facing, है ना? These type of questions you will be facing in exams based on binomial expressions and trigonometric functions. All right. So I hope when you are watching these sessions, you are also noting down all the formulae at one place and also trying to solve these questions, है ना? So today we are done with this session of binomial expression and trigonometric functions, but tomorrow we are going to start geometry. Geometry is a big topic and it has a really big weightage in terms of your exams. All right, so I will see you guys there 4:30 p.m. same channel. Thank you for joining us. Bye bye.